Hello. So it's been quite some time since my last video, and trust me, I have tried to make content in that time and only to discover more and more issues that I need to fix. That has led me down a crazy rabbit hole, and well, let me just show you. So, not more than like 2 weeks after I made the first video, I went out on a nice rainy afternoon. I had set up a cruise to hopefully meet some of the locals, because I know nobody out here in Kitsap County, and try to see if I could find my kind of friend group to go out on drives on the weekends with. Well, I tried that, and not more than an hour into my trip, and the farthest away from a garage I could be, this happened. Alright, welcome to, episode 2 of me trying to do YouTube videos. I fucked up and forgot to turn my headlights off for that half hour I was sitting. Nothing. Battery's fine. Don't need this. I was wrong. We gotta put the fucking battery cable to the starter. Okay, let's try that again. A little bit before this. My brake fluid was a little low. I tracked down a fuel leak issue. Come to find out, I had a fuel line that was just like barely connected to my fuel sending unit that was in line on my frame rail, and it was just constantly having a little bit of a drip, so it would stink up my garage. I'd have a bunch of fumes, and it was just like not okay. These roundabouts look so fun. I don't have a working fuel gauge. I don't have a working tachometer. I don't have a working oil pressure gauge. Really anything but a speedometer and my temp gauge. So that's all I need, right? My truck might veer a little bit as I'm driving. Yeah, that's because my entire front suspension is 300,000 miles too old, and it needs to be desperately rebuilt. So nice. It's honestly, it's so nice being out driving, feeling the road, feeling the truck, knowing actions you see depicted while I'm doing dumb shit should not be replicated because you think you can. It, folks. That was it. Pretty sure we just fucking. And as if I was talking about it, there she goes. My luck. So local, I saw me fucking brake right here, gave me the jack out of their fucking truck. So after spending some time in the rain, soaking myself and all that fun shit, found where it came off, that. So once it's up there, you bolt that bitch in. Sorry. You bolt it in right there, and it fucking won't do that. the nut came off. Okay, nails end up being the option to go. So we have a nail right now through the cotter pin hole of the steering linkage, and we're gonna see if we can't just gently limp her up to Belfair. It's about 14 miles. And see if we can't change our luck around a little bit better. So it's fixed now, we're good. Les Schwab out here just fucking helped me out, along with the O'Reillys right next to it. Boom, right there. So we got a nut, a cotter pin, all new, all tight, all safe. We're good now. We can keep going. Brings us back to this. So I ended up replacing the steering linkage on either end, replaced the tie rods on either end, then also noticed this oil leak or some liquid, which I'm assuming is coming from my steering box, also all over my linkage. And of course, while you're under here, you start noticing things that the old owner did, such as cutting the spring and coil sleeve and then melting the spring down. So I have zero bounce in the front when I'm going over things. My shocks are shot. There's oh boy. Oh, can we focus here? There we go. Yeah, they're shot. There is nothing here when I go over bumps. So that's all gonna have to change. My control arms are gonna have to be changed out because I'm sure these are just as bent as the tie rods I took out. I have a lot to do before the alignment. This is all things I'm going through, and noticing, you know, maybe let's just change it all, you know? To be doing an engine swap, we might as well, you know, be preemptive and do things according to the weight that's going to be up here and the angle of turning that I'm going to want for this truck. So I'm going down rabbit holes of, okay, what front ends can I work with here? What are there options for trucks like this? Is there weld-on kits? And I'm finding a bunch of cool stuff. There's stuff for like C10s where you can just bolt onto the frame an entire new steering setup that has angle kits, has front coils, everything adjustable, and they're upwards of like $2,000. But it's nice knowing that those are options. But there's nothing for the little frames. It sucks. So that keeps us down the rabbit hole of what can we do that's custom. So it led me to this. So this is what having ADHD does. You don't want to have to take the bed off and on and off and on in order to make the adjustments to your suspension, especially when you're doing it custom. So what I did was I cut the bed open for one good reason. I will always have access to everything in my suspension, brake, and fuel. So that's going bye-bye. We'll have one mounted to the cab right up here. So it has center of balance, flush mounted. It's only going to be about I think it was like 4 inches wide by 17 inches deep. It's going to be a 17-gallon tank. So it's going to be big, but flush. So that way when we whip this bitch, there's not going to be any the fuel's not going to fucking force its way this way, and the fuel pump won't have issues picking up. So it's a really good setup for center of balance and not worrying about your fuel and it cutting on you and possibly grenading your fucking motor, and that's not fun. So after I cut this open, we noticed more issues, such as down over yonder. Look at that. Look at that. We got 1, 2, 3 fucking welds holding this thing on for my leaf spring. That's awesome. And then over here, this is the same story up there. I don't know why you would cut that just to get your leaf springs out, but it's my problem now. It's fine though. It's all going away. I have an awesome neighbor here and there that have taught me a lot, and I mean a lot. When I say a lot, I'm an annoying prick when it comes to asking questions because I want to learn. They have taught me a lot. So this homie here has learned how to fabricate, weld. He knows a shit ton about the 350 motors. Not Z, but 350 small block. And a lot about rear ends. So he knows the drivetrain that I'm going for, which is a 350 small block, 4-speed transmission from a Nova if I could find it. Otherwise, I'll have to take what I can get and figure it out from there. This is a budget build, so we're not trying to go for high end. I'll get into that in a few minutes. So we're going to be putting a Ford 9-inch rear end in the rear, as long as we can acquire it. They are a dime a dozen, but it's hard to find one that's not beat to shit, and you're going to have to spend a fuck ton of money to get it in working shape to be a rear end for racing. So there is limited options for me as what I'm going for in budget building as well. So if I can't get a Ford 9, I'm going with a Chevy because those also have disc brakes. Either way, this rear end will have disc brakes, whether I convert it or get it as. As far as the exhaust and all that crap, that's going to be side piped. So this is going to be going away. I have the 4-link cross member that's going to be there for the suspension setup. We're going to be going with the 5th link in the rear for the rear diff not to be able to move side to side. And then you got the coilovers. These are the AFCO coilovers that I'm going to be putting in the rear here. These are about what you're going to get for getting adjustable coilovers that have a short distance from either eye, from here to here. So it's really screwed for the mini truck community when it comes to putting a 4-link in the rear. You're either going to be spending a shit ton of money on rear coilovers for 4-wheel drive, and those are like your Fox rear ends, and those have the eyes as well, but a lot of coilovers only have the 3 bolts on the top and the 1 eye on the bottom. So what I have to do is work with what I got, and I found AFCO. AFCO seems to be a good brand, has good reviews, and it's exactly the measurement I'm looking for. So AFCO, got them for $100 on Facebook Market because I just had the coilovers up on my search, and finally somebody posted it. I hopped on it immediately. Acquired those for $100 off Facebook Market. Don't be afraid, they were brand new. So I have a lot of issues and fun things I want to do. This, looking at it, I could drill bolts through my bed and create quick disconnect from the top end. So I still have my sturdy-ish rear end in the rear here for weight in the rear. I can take it off the top end and not the bottom, so it's a lot easier. I could just lift, pull, and go to the side. It will be split down the middle because of the fuel cell, so these will just be L brackets. That's really all this bed will be. It's a decent idea, and I'm going to be cutting out the wheel wells anyway, just because of the fabrication of the C notch that I'll have to go here as well. It's really, I can't express it enough. Once you understand the fabrication side of it, getting the materials, having the basic knowledge of your angles, and getting good consistent measurements every single time, you'll get it. I'm doing small things, such as, welding my wing mount, chassis mount, whatever the fuck. To the frame in the rear using a clean steel plate that I got from my work. They were just gonna toss it in the freaking bin, and I was like, whoa, I want the diamond plate, I want the steel, I'll take all that. That's great scrap for me to be doing fabrication, not for framework. That'll be 2x6 or 2x4, 2x4. And then I get to fix the wiring. Fuck yeah. I'm regretting ever wanting to do this. I wish I had friends that love wiring, because this sucks. I have basic knowledge from being in the trades of what I'm going to be doing, but I don't have the brightest idea of how to set up a switchboard panel yet. And it sounds sad, I know. And I know they're simple. It's just like my brain can't wrap around it, and I'm not afraid to admit that. While I was busy on Thursday, I decided to cut out my dash, because I was getting ready to, and it's coming today, wrap my dash in carbon fiber and actually create the epoxied carbon fiber look right here. So that's gonna happen. I will learn to do that. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, but we're learning here. So I'm sorry that this isn't like I'm a professional, I know what I'm doing. We're on the same page. So this is all cut out. That's going to be a great backing for me to work off of. It's not going to be absolute to the every dip and corner on this. I kind of wanted to get a little bit more flush. So what I probably will do is create a cardboard cutout or of similar material, just so I have something to work off of, and make it more flat when I do the carbon fiber against it and do the epoxy. So that's going to be a thing. I ripped out my duct system. You'll see that that's all ripped out except for this one. But that back in there, if you can see that, back in there, that little thing was full, and I mean full, of pine cones, pine needles, sticks, all throughout, because of those little vents up there. I don't know why critters do this to me, but there's also a vent, here. There's a vent access hole right over there, and you can see the engine bay. So they were just walking up in here, living life, having fun. What is that? Oh, I haven't taken a look at this myself. What is that? Is that more? Gosh darn it. No. That's my windshield wiper controller. Okay, we're good. When I rip all this out, I'm going to be creating the new gauge cluster right here. If not, I might change my idea and go with something a little bit more here. Something that wraps. Because I'm going to be creating my own dash here. I have carbon fiber. You know? Just, I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. ADHD. So brings us to the pedals as well. So these are all going away. Every single thing I look at, the clutch will go away because I'm going to need a better setup because this is terrible. The brake system's going away. That's going to be a Willwood. And the gas pedal is going to be going away as well. We're going to be changing out the cable for it because it is terrible. That's why my throttle sticks all the time in this. And we're going to be ripping out the heater core the rest of the way. This is going to be a blank dash. It's going to be as little components in here as possible. I've even considered cutting out my doors. Just so I can create this to be a safer environment, a little less metal outside of the roll cage. And that will go up through here. The rear window is going to be removed. It's going to go up. Oh, sorry. Exo cage on the outside, poke through, come across the top, down the sides, and then we're going to have the crossbar here, crossbar going here for the harness, and then crossbar here. So I don't know how many fucking points that is to anybody, but we know the design we're going to be going with, and we're going to try to do one crossbar here. So that's why the carbon fiber is going to wait, because we need to get inside first. And also the whole wiring system, which brings us here. So this is the lovely handiwork that's been done by somebody, and I cannot wait to get rid of it. This is the most terrible work I've ever seen. If you ever see this video, I hope you know that. This motor is going bye-bye today. That brings us to our next part. So yesterday, Friday, mind you, Thursday rip out dash, had totally different plans, was going to work on wiring. Kid hit me up on Friday. He's like, hey, don't have a motor right now, blew it up, not more than fucking a day after I put my Weber on. Anybody got a 2.6? And I was like, I got a 2.6. I plan to take it out in 2 months or so, but if you want, it's all yours. And he was absolutely down for it. He hit me up and he's like, hey, what do you want for it? And I said, well, I'm kind of looking for trades, or, you know, give me $1,000 for it, because it is a built motor and it is running with no smoke. He asked me if there's anything I'm looking for, and I said I'm looking for a 350 small block, preferably an LT1, a L98, and he ended up having an L98 waiting for me. So this L98 already has 200,000 miles on it, but I already planned to do a bottom to top rebuild on whatever block I was getting for the performance I need on what I do with it. I can't just throw a stock 350 small block in this and expect it not to throw a rod when I'm staying up in 6,000 RPM for quite a bit of time. So I need to build a motor specifically for that, so it's financially smarter in the long run to just do that bottom to top. He hit me up. He's like, I want to do this weekend. And I was like, oh shit. Like, I don't have tools for this, my guy. Like, I'm 2 months out. And he said, it's cool. I'll bring everything. He's bringing an engine hoist. He's bringing an engine stand, which I'm buying. And the engine will just sit over here on the side while I figure my life out on that. Because it is very soon and happening now. This motor's leaving. I'm giving him the transmission as well. That'll happen all in one go. We're just going to chop, out, go. So it's going to be a pretty simple takeout. None of this is taken off yet because he wants to just, you know, I understand, hear it run, make sure it's all good, make sure I'm not lying. I can't get the same in return. The truck has been completely torn apart on his end that he's taken the 350 out of. It was a family car that people just started robbing parts off of. So by the end of it, it just didn't run. Didn't even have a gauge cluster to remember mileage other than it was close to 200K. So this motor is free to me. The transmission's free to me. The truck is still free to me. I traded it for that boat. So this truck still has a free value in my eyes outside of the $500 wing. So we have a motor that I'm trading for a 350 small block that is still technically free. Boy math. So we have a great opportunity to just rip off the Band-Aid, start it now, and start digging into this truck the way it needs to be. So pretty much moving forward, this engine bay is getting wiped clean. Radiators coming out, wiring's getting ripped out, brake system's getting ripped out, because all of that is getting changed too. We're trying to see about going Willwood. I'm still researching to see how the fuck I'm gonna do any of this. I have no idea, but I am figuring it out. So the front suspension will all be changed as well. I don't know about the steering system because it works. I just need to replace it all, and then it's gonna be easy peasy lemon squeezy. I don't mind not having power steering, but if I could put it in, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Because I can't imagine that is much harder than taking out the steering box and finding an adaptable system, but we'll find it. We'll find out. I'm sure somebody's done something. So this engine bay is going to be wiped clean. This is going to be my very first time doing anything like this, and I'm really fucking excited to do this. It's all going to be gain knowledge and an adventure. And so anyone that's watching, thank you. Because I'm going to be figuring it out with you guys. I'm excited to fix a lot of things on this truck. You know, things like this. Handiwork done by somebody before me. Or this. The seat welded to the cab. Or this. My e-brake cable completely cut. Cut there. Cut there. Cut here. Cut up there, and cut right underneath the cab. Yeah. Who the hell does that? I said it from the beginning, this isn't going to be a cosmetic build. This is going to be one I learn on. But damn, like, just like we all say, I could fix her. You know, like, I want to see her treated right. I'm going to do the things as I go correctly. I'm not going to do it half-assed. And I am going to be putting my life in this thing. So for a vehicle with no airbags, no real safety system, I'm going to make it as safe as possible for what I plan to do. Now, if this truck ever gets wrecked, I do plan to take the heart of it and put it into something else, because I'm putting my real money in that. That all being said, I do appreciate you guys being here, watching, and supporting in any which way you can. I am just now starting out in the best way possible. And it's just ripping off a big bandage and doing it all now. So it's not going to be stages. It's just get it all fucking done and then drive it out of here. So welcome to the channel, guys. Thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, comment. I want to hear about your mini truck. I want to hear about your build. If you have questions, if you have advice, have a good day, have a good week, have a good month. I don't know when the next time I'm going to make a video is. I'm just out here doing what I do.